I'm Giovanni Landi. I come from Italy, Florence, and I'm an AR developer and, let's say, an independent researcher. And I had the pleasure to collaborate with different research institutions in the exploration of how an AR application can help the comprehension and the valorization of cultural heritage. What I will show you today are 3 works in progress on 3 different works of art, and I tried to collect the needs of the research community in the field of art history and architecture and so on to first understand their needs and then try to imagine some valuable outreach product that could enhance the comprehension of this beautiful masterpiece. So first of all, let me introduce you the Holy Trinity. It's a fresco that is in Florence in the church of Santa Maria Novella. It was painted around 1426 at the age of 25 by Masaccio, and suddenly, a few months after finishing this masterpiece, Masaccio died, and he ended with this masterpiece his 7-year meteoric career. Okay, this fresco is really important in the art history because it's considered the first example of correct geometrically correct linear perspective. And there has been a long debate about the effective coherence of this linear perspective, and I had the pleasure to work with Professor Maria Teresa Bartoli that recently demonstrated that not only the perspective that you can see in the Holy Trinity by Masaccio is correct, but it's commendable and really elegant. And we try to use augmented reality to better explain how this complicated methodology based on 2D projection of a 3D object lives in this masterpiece. And it's all about a triangle inscribed in a square that corresponds to a cube. And Professor Maria Teresa Bartoli demonstrated the correctness of this perspective, simply assuming that the map of the chapel represented in the painting wasn't square, but was not completely square. And what we developed is an augmented reality application made based on Unity and Vuforia that has a 3D section in which the user can explore a 3D reconstruction of the interior of the Holy Trinity, and the perspective construction section where the user can follow by simple step the construction of this linear perspective, and in both the section, the user can know if he is staying in the point of view that the artist wanted him to be, to appreciate the perspective. Now I'm going to show you a video. Okay, this is a 2D scheme that explain how this perspective is rendered in 2D. And this is how the perspective is constructed geometrically. And after we have this first intersection, we can materialize a cube that, in fact, stays in the lines. And elevating the map of the chapel, we can, in an intuitive way, understand that this perspective is correct. This is the 3D section, where, like Vasari said, referring to the fresco, the perspective gives you the impression that there's a hole in the wall. Future developments are about superimposing other content about the fresco. For example, the sequence of the 28 days that Masaccio took to complete the masterpiece. The second work in progress, it's about the beautiful chapter house, now called the Spanish Chapel in the same church in Florence, where you can find a series of fresco by Andrea di Bonaiuto, made in 1343. And these frescoes are very important because you can find on the walls of this chapel the only portraits of the poet Petrarch, and one of the first representation of the cathedral in Florence, the dome, before it was actually built. That was based on the model that by Arnolfo di Cambio. And the chapel was 3D scanned using a Zoller-Flörlich 3D Mage Phase Shift Lara laser scanner. And from the point cloud, a mesh was constructed. And we made this AR application based on Unity and Vuforia, where you can explore the model with the possibility of turning 360, and you have the possibility to project your point of view in every direction you want to better appreciate the details of the fresco. Future developments include high definition imagery, because in this case we used a low definition RGB imagery. And the second section of the application is meant for printed material, and it simply show the 3D model of the chapel, but with another perspective. And this perspective we found that made the frescoes much more readable. You could think of this printed on an art history book, and you have the possibility to see the frescoes. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, future developments. Okay, we want high definition imagery in it, and the possibility to track, like we did with Trinity, the original frescoes, and superimpose other important features and symbols that you can find, like the Florence Cathedral model. The third work in progress it was a test that we made with this almost early work of art. Is an early 19 Sicilian devotional art, and Dr. Antonino Cosentino, he made this panoramic multispectral imaging methodology, in which he is able to collect a high definition image of the painting by putting a normal camera and a cost-effective camera on a panoramic motorized head. The images are stitched, and what you have are a data set of a lot of images of the painting at the different spectrums. This is not so original. This is a common methodology, because the data that you collect with this technique are very useful for restoration and to study the painting. And we made an AR application that, also based on Unity and Vuforia, let the user actually choose the spectrum and then paint directly on the painting. This work is inspired by the previous work from Yolande Colsti, and that was presented in 2012 ISMAR, and the work from David Vanoni. But what we are expecting to do is to use this kind of technique on 3D artifacts, using a combination of structure from motion modeling and 3D tracking. Okay, thanks for your attention. Oh, if somebody wants to try, I have here the reproduction of the paintings, and you can try the demos of both of the first, no, of all three the demos that I showed.
Hi there.
9 minutes.
The laser acquisition phase of the 3D scanning of the interior spaces, and have you applied this also towards sculptures and other kinds of three-dimensional objects other than just interior spaces, or that with paintings or frescoes? And the other question is, the acquisition of the video information or the high-resolution photography that accompanies and is registered with the 3D data, is that accomplished at scan time, or is that placed later in your authoring app based on the positional information?
There was, of course, an optimization both of the model and both of the textures, but the RGB information and the point cloud were collected with the same instrument, and it's the work of architect Carlo Battini in Florence, and his work is to collect three-dimensional data of cultural heritage situations all around Italy. What was your second question? Yes, okay, this
Just
is
about the resolution of the 3D.
This is a really high resolution, and the point cloud was massive, but the data is collected for other kind of analysis apart from the visualization proposal that I presented. And as I was saying, in the end, there are much less expensive techniques like structure from motion techniques to reconstruct 3D geometry of works of art simply through taking many pictures of them. But the one from the chapter house, I think it's the most expensive way to collect 3D data about cultural heritage. We have 3 minutes left.
Hi, this might be kind of a broad question, but where do you see national heritage sites in cultural areas such as the Hagia Sophia or anywhere in Roma or Istanbul kind of going through augmented reality and virtual reality? What's your vision for the upcoming 5 to 10 years for large cities that have amazing historical artifacts and cultural heritage areas? Thank you.
As I said in the beginning, I started exploring the demand of data visualization mainly from the research community. And I think that there can be a lot of form factors that can use these data that are collected for research purposes, and the public simply never get in touch with them, and they can be used to valorize the visit of a certain spot. But for example, what I thought while developing the demo with the Holy Trinity,